So, first of all, it's okay for us to put this on YouTube, Facebook, social media, my site, all the
Yeah.
rest. Okay, great. So, tell me, you've had a few weeks of vacation. How have you been?
And good, but actually I've had a lot of anxiety, a
Okay.
lot. So that's been interesting. Um,
With everything or with specific things in particular?
Kind of like just overall, like just kind of feeling an overall sense of anxiety. Going out was a little bit harder, um, which, sometimes that can just be um, like something coming up with me. So I recognize that could be what it was. I've been journaling, and I fact actually when I was, I told you I started journaling I call her my mini me. um, and I'm like, if I'm open to hearing whatever it is that's making you feel so anxious. If you're, willing to fill me in and share, but I don't have any. Um, there's been we with Passover coming up, it was that was exciting and it was great. It was the best one we've had.
Good.
And the interesting thing is it was kind of, there was like a sadness too the first night because we did our Seder here at home. And it was just him and I. I mean, it still took us 2 hours to get through it, but it was, just him and I here. And there was a sense that it kind of felt sad. And it was just him and I. And yet it felt good that we still did it, even though it was just him and I. And then we did go to a potluck Passover that Sunday. So that was nice. And then we did at the temple, they did a Seder on the last day of Passover. So last Friday night. And we were invited to that. So we went to that. And we were actually invited to a second day Seder, but financially we couldn't make that many trips out there. So we had declined. So we went to that. And I think I was sharing with you that I can feel some improvement in the area of where, even though it was just him and I felt the sadness, I didn't feel a longing for wishing my family was different. That I had my family. Like which is pretty huge for me, because normally I was feeling like sad and betrayed and just and feeling like I needed to reach out to them, even though I've done that several times. And I just didn't feel that. So that was really good. That felt really good that I didn't go down that line of thinking. And I really feel a sense of peace where that's concerned. I don't feel any, I don't know. I don't feel any, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't feel rejected. I just don't care. I mean, have they rejected me? Yeah, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't know. So that was good, because normally I would feel rejected and I would feel sad and I would feel like, why don't they try? They owe me this apology. Why aren't they giving it to me? They are the ones that did me wrong. Why are they treating me like I did something wrong?
Right.
And I just don't care. Like, it's like, you are who you are. I am who I am. We're on different paths. You were part of my journey for a reason, and now you're no longer part of my journey for another reason, and that's okay.
Perfect. That's where
so
I
for
want
me,
you to be.
And for me, that is big. Like, that is a big deal for me to feel that way.
Well, if you recall at the very beginning, you were talking about how You kept feeling you had to go to your back to your family to prove that you're over it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't. Like, I just don't. I just,
You don't.
oh, no. I don't have any desire to, you know what I mean? I don't.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, that is big.
It
That
is
is big.
huge. It is.
Yeah. So I'm grateful for, I'm really grateful for that, because that at least I know that's not part of that equation of why I'm feeling anxious. I'm not feeling, so I know it's not that, so I can
Right.
eliminate that sense. Okay. Yeah. And so the anxiety, I know, is that it has triggered some things from the past, from when I was a little girl, some things that have happened recently. Like, it triggered some of that issues where I feel kind of out of control and not safe and, unsure of what the future holds. And so I know that that's a lot of the anxiety. And then,
Right.
even honestly, I went to the dentist today. For me, that's a huge fear. I mean, huge fear for me, going to the dentist. And it's not so much the pain, it is the numbness, because that feels out of control.
Right.
And I knew they weren't going to do that today, because I knew today was just a checkup, but it was still going there and knowing that they probably will have, say they want to do something like that. And so it's the numbness, but then it's like, okay, if they have to do anything, then I can't take anything for pain either, because of the fear of taking any kind of medication. So, like, I can't even take a Tylenol to try to help with the pain. So there's a lot of stuff going on where that's concerned. But it's funny, because you and I've talked about, I have 4 sessions left, and I wanted to make the most of those 4 sessions. And so I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to focus on, because I'm like we've talked about, the fear of staying by myself isn't going to go anywhere until I feel safe with me.
Right.
And I'm not going to feel safe with me until I trust me, and until I have self-worth and self-confidence. And so I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to work on as far as that was concerned. And before our scheduled appointment, my husband had asked me to read an article that he had written, that one of the Jewish publications asked if they could publish in their magazine. And so I was reading it, and he had shared a picture of me in it. And the first thing I see is my teeth. And I hate it. And I don't want to tell him, don't use it. But that's the reality, is every time I see a picture of myself, I just hate it. And I feel so shameful. And even though I have had so many people say, oh, you have such a beautiful smile, all I see are my crooked teeth. And all I hear is my dad's voice in my head saying, sissy baby, why it makes me so mad your mother didn't have your teeth fixed. I mean, he said that every time he saw me up until I was 35 years old. And I finally said to him, why didn't you have them fixed? He had no argument for that, so he stopped saying it.
Right.
But then he found other things to pick me apart. And the thing with my teeth was reinforced by my now ex-husband, who literally the day after we got married, we were riding in the car, and he turned to me and he says, I must have some of my mom's dentist in me. She's a dental hygienist. He said, because sometimes your teeth really bug me. I mean, it was literally the day after we got married. And so I wanted to see if I could find this. While we were trying to get the Skype going, and you had to hang up for a moment, I had flapped over my screen over to Facebook, and I saw that somebody had posted a post about gum disease. I mean, that was like the first thing that popped out on the screen. And you have a news feed, there's lots of things, but no, that's the first thing that was there. And what it was about was metaphysical analysis on gum dis-ease. Feeling attacked, unsupported when making decisions, feel unable to change, feel unable to break away from unhealthy circumstances. Anger is your best defense. all of that felt really real to me, like really true.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole dentist appointment was, when I saw the dentist part of it, they were commenting that for a woman my age, I'm 54, I'll be 55 this year, my teeth are really pretty healthy. Like 90% of my teeth, they say, are healthier than most people my age. But I have gum disease. And so she was explaining the bone and different things that we can do to try to help restore the gums. But, the bone, she said, you can't restore, though. I don't know that I can't restore them. They said I couldn't restore bones in my hip either, but I used to have osteoporosis. I don't anymore. So
Cool.
it went from osteoporosis to osteopenia, which is what you would have before osteoporosis. So clearly I'm doing something right. But
Do you know what you're doing right is the question.
well, I do. I for one, I am heavier than I was. So the weight that I'm actually carrying more weight, which that helps. And my diet is better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm eating better than I was. But what I really wanted to share, and I got to find it because I can't remember it, even though that felt right, I still wanted to look for more metaphysical issues around the gum disease and the teeth. And so let me see if I got to make sure this is the right one. I was looking at it on my computer, so I'm trying to see if this is the right one on my phone. You ever heard of Mind Body Bloom?
No.
Okay, yeah, and it is the mindbodybloom.com that I found it on.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to the part where because this gives all of like the mouth issues and the spiritual meaning and causes of gingivitis and periodontal disease, gum disease. Just as the gums are the basis of teeth, so is the confidence in life and oneself the basis for being able to stand out. Problems with the gums indicates an inability in this area, probably due to fear of losing love. You are vulnerable and you don't have the courage to break the ice. As long as you love and accept yourself, you will no longer be dependent on the love and recognition of others. You will be able to fulfill your own wishes. You will become authentic in giving others the love you have discovered in yourself. Then I went on to the wisdom tooth, and that's the one that I probably won't get through without crying. Wisdom teeth begin to erupt around the age of 21, when one integrates his or her spiritual side. It represents the world in which you evolve, but also the spiritual world, your mission, and your personal values. The spiritual side is accessible on a mystical way, that is, more oriented towards religion and its mysteries or towards the esoteric knowledge. Lacking the wisdom teeth means that you choose the way of knowledge over the mystical path. Lack of wisdom teeth. Wisdom is a great quality. You enjoy the happiness of manifesting it during this lifetime. It helps you to open yourself to the universe and gives you solid foundation for everything you do. Wisdom teeth symbolize the autonomy you have gained over the years. Thus, a wisdom tooth that doesn't erupt in order to occupy its proper place may indicate that you mentally refuse to trust yourself and to take over all the space that you are entitled to. You keep everything that you don't like about yourself inside in order to please others. I can't even tell you. The tooth on my right, my wisdom tooth, it never came in. It's not there. It's like it doesn't even exist. The one on my left side came in, but it came in kind of cattywampus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my dad, right side, male side, that has been so hypercritical of the way I look. So hypercritical of my teeth. So incredibly hypercritical. He's also the one who would tell me, this is where the spiritual comes in to conflict, is that he also was the one that would tell me I was going to die and burn in hell for all eternity. I mean, is that any surprise? It's just...
Well, we know he got it wrong, so.
Well, my adult self knows he has it wrong. It's just, part of my struggle throughout my whole life has been my intellect, that And in fact, you know how they do those testing to see if you're right-brained or left-brained, to see what it showed was that I have that I am actually very, very right-brained. But because my intelligence is so high, I operate out of the left side because I think that's what I'm supposed to do. That's how you're supposed to live your life. And they kept saying, if you would just let yourself live out of that creative, artistic side, you would never need treatment again. And yet I stop myself all the time. And so much of it has to do with, I have had several opportunities that I absolutely have not taken because I've been afraid of the way I look, that I feel insecure and have that, what will other people think, and just, and so much of that is like wrapped around my dad and his opinion of me. When I was in I think I was like 19 or 20, I had a modeling agency that kept contacting me. That somebody had submitted a snapshot of me and sent it to them. They had sent me letters. I ignored them. Then they actually called my home, and I wasn't there. They left a message. Well, then they called again, and this time my cousin was at my house, and he called me Mom. He's like, Mom, you need to call them back. They're definitely trying to get a hold of you. And so I took this information to my dad, and he's like, sister baby, he's like, you don't need to waste your time on that. You're just sort of average. He says, to me, you're beautiful, but to the rest of the world, you're just kind of average. And then he commenced to comparing me to other women, saying, now see, this person's really beautiful, but this one, she's pretty average. And if she don't have makeup on, she's downright ugly. I mean, it just, and I don't trust a compliment, because he used to compliment women, and he would say, sister baby, I know they aren't attractive, but they just need to hear it, so I'm just going to try to make them feel better. So whenever anyone gives me a compliment, I assume that's all they're doing. A lady today just asked my husband at the dentist, she saw me and she asked him, is this your wife? And he's like, yeah, she is. And she told him, well, she's very beautiful. And he goes, well, yes, she is. My thought when he told me that was, oh, well, see, because my head's wrecked, she probably thinks I have cancer, God forbid, and she thinks I look pretty good for a woman with cancer. Like, that's where my mind goes.
I want you to first go to a good place. Could be Land of the Bluebells. Could be someplace else. A place when you go there, you feel really, really good. You have a place like that?
Arizona has been really on my mind.
It's a good place, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you think about Arizona, that thing on your mind, I want you to notice there's a certain part of your body where you start to feel it. I'm going to point to where that is.
When I think about Arizona?
Mm-hmm. That good part, that place that you've been on your mind. Okay, and I can't see, so you're going to have to tell me if you're pointing someplace below your shoulder area.
I'm still getting
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Where do I feel it? I feel like I'm feeling it in my head.
Okay, I want you to notice the color attached to it. What's the color?
I think blue. If there's a color, I would say blue.
Okay, and it's a good feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should breathe in that blue energy. Just breathe it in really deeply, and as you breathe out, see it pushing out all the less than positive feelings inside of you. And keep breathing in that blue energy. Let it spread throughout your whole body, displacing pushing out all the less than positive energy till all the air that comes out is the same blue color as the air that goes in. All the energy that comes out is the same blue energy as energy that goes in, blue energy that goes in.
It's like the blue energy is looking white.
Okay, that's fine.
I kind of switched gears.
Okay, where do you switch to?
I went to the mikveh that I was in.
Okay, that was a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
The water was warm.
As long as you're breathing in good energy and filling yourself up with a good energy, that's fine.
Okay.
And now I want you to notice how the energy that's filled your entire body. What color is it?
It's kind of a palish, whitish turquoise kind of.
I want you to notice how it's overflowing out and creating this force field around you. And when the force field is fully in place, I want you to reach out your hands and touch it, just to make sure you can feel it over there.
Okay.
Okay. And now what I want you to do is I want you to go down this big, long hallway that you see in front of you. And on either side of this hallway, you see doors. Mm-hmm. And on each door, there's a number ranging all the way from 0 to 54. And you instinctively know that each one of those doors represents a year in your life. I want you to walk down that hallway as far as you need to go to get to that very first time, very first event, very first occurrence that has everything to do with that feeling of I'm not pretty, can't accept the compliment, I'm not beautiful, I'm just average. And when people say I'm beautiful, they're just trying to make me feel good.
I'm not sure of the first time.
Just go through, feel which door pulls you there. First door that pops into your head.
It's feeling like it's going back all the way to like when I'm pretty young, like 5 maybe, but it's with my aunt.
That's fine. Go back there. Open up the door.
Okay.
And you'll see this big control board right in front of you. And you see in front of that, this big, enormous IMAX screen. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to look at the control board. And notice there's a scanner over there that you can scan through the year and find out what's the event, the occurrence, the happening that happened that brought you there.
It's not one event, that's the thing. It was, I had an aunt that I was left with a lot on my mom's side, that she was just merciless with her dislike for me.
Mm-hmm.
She would make comments all the time about how skinny I was, and just, the woman hated me, and she made sure that I knew she hated me.
Okay. I want you to go to little Jenna, tell her who you are, tell her from the future, make her believe it, and ask her if it's okay to work on this feeling. Is it okay?
I can't even. It's like she wouldn't let me get to her.
Okay.
I see her curled up in a little ball, like trying to hide under a bench.
Can you bring her into your force field? Okay, so let's try this. See inside this room how it turns into this gray dome-shaped room And right in the center of this room, there's this big fire pit with a very amazing white fire. Fire that can't hurt, can only purify, can only rectify, can only change for the better things. And as you breathe in the energy from the fire, breathe in the smoke, it just fills you up with good positive energy. And I want you to notice how around on the walls, on this dome, all around, there are these little squares. And if you notice carefully, there's 2 different colors of these squares. It doesn't make a difference what these squares are. It could be anything you want them to be. But the one distinction that you should know, and that you instinctively know, is that each of those colors represents something else. One of those colors represents all the positive things that happened to you during that year. The other color represents all the less than positive things that happened to you that year. What I want you to do is I want you to reach your hand out, touch one of those squares that represents a less than positive thing. Notice where you feel it. Literally reach your hand out and do it. Okay? I want you to notice where you feel it inside your body, and I want you to rip it off of the wall. And as you rip it off the wall, I want you to take it, and I want you to smash it, and crash it, and break it, and smush it, and do whatever you need to do to it so you can no longer recognize it. It no longer represents anything that it had beforehand. And when you got it for all the right reasons, I want you to take it, and I want you to throw it right into that fire pit. Noticing all the time how that feeling inside of you is changing, shifting. And I want you to do is I want you to reach out, take another one. And as you touch it, pull it off the wall. Notice what you feel inside your body as you're doing that. Notice the changes and the shifts that are occurring over there. And take it once again and smash it and break it and tear it and rip it and crush it. Do whatever you need to do so it can no longer be recognized for what it was beforehand. And then when you got it, throw it right into that fire pit. And go ahead, reach out and take all the other ones off the wall. All those other ones represent the less than positive things, the ones that you know about, and the ones that your other than conscious mind knows about. Just pull them all off, every single one, from all over. Sometimes I like to hide. Make sure you get them all from behind you as well, from above you. Sometimes they hide underneath a good one. Get them too. Let Jenna help you if she wants, or she could just stay hidden if she wants. Smash them. You're right. You got it.
Okay.
And take them all and throw them right into that fire pit. Feel all the energy surge up all around you as that all those things are transformed, transmuted. They change to something positive. Just take a look around the room. Make sure there's nothing left from less than positive ones. And if there is, you know what to do. Right? Pay attention to the shifts that are occurring in your body. Changes in the feelings as you rip them off.
My arms and hands are just really aching.
Okay, there's a lot of hard work there. Did you get it all?
I think I could be grabbing them for hours.
Use a vacuum cleaner. A very special vacuum cleaner that only vacuums up specific color, specific feeling. waking them all up.
I have to imagine doing it because my arms can't.
That's okay. Go ahead, just imagine.
Okay.
Okay. And now empty out the vacuum cleaner into the flare pit. Once again, feeling all that energy surge up, changing it, transmuting it, creating something beautiful, something good.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're over there. The little Jenna, how's she doing now?
She let me bring her out.
Okay, good. How's she feeling now over there?
Better.
Okay. I want you to have little Jenna sit across from her aunt and let little Jenna tell her aunt all the things that she needed to tell her for so long, but couldn't because she didn't have a voice then to do it.
You are a mean and hateful person. You're evil. I'm just a little girl, and I needed you to be kind to me. You should have understood how hard it was for me to not have my mom or not have my dad. And you just made it worse. Comparing me all the time to your daughters. Calling me names, talking about me. Making sure that I knew you loved my brothers, but you hated me. What kind of a human being does that to a little girl? You could have been compassionate, kind, but you chose to be mean and hateful. You shut my arm in a car door and yelled at me for not getting out of the way fast enough while I'm still stuck in the door. You had absolutely no compassion where I was concerned at all. Ever. Anytime anyone showed me the slightest bit of kindness, you had to make sure you came in and tried to take it away. You're just a mean and hateful woman. And I hate you. I hate being here. I could be anywhere but here, I would.
Okay, put it all out.
Well, that took me a day to hate my mom. I hate her for leaving me with you. I hate that she didn't care.
Don't leave any of it inside. Just get it all out.
You are both horrible examples of human beings. You're both horrible. You made me sleep on the floor with a holy blanket because I wasn't good enough to sleep in the bed with your daughters. You were afraid I would give them lice. Funny thing was, I didn't have it, but your daughters did. Did you apologize to me? No. Did that change how you treated me? No. You're just evil. You're just an evil human being. That's funny, because what I just thought of, though, is she had really pretty feet.
Okay, that's good. That means that you're letting it out.
And I used to pray, like, God, let me have pretty feet like Aunt Roanne. And interestingly enough, I do have really pretty feet. I have one toe that has a corn on it that bugs me. But other than that, I have beautiful feet.
Okay. Aunt Roanne, what do you have to say back to little Jenna? Play your part.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to speak for her. I mean, in one breath, I feel like she's saying, you're just a spoiled brat. And yet, like, there's nothing could be further from the truth.
It's okay. I want you to get it out.
And then there's the other part of me that feels like I was actually a really, really cute little girl.
You look like you'd be a cute little girl.
And she hated that.
Now you got it, because you were probably a lot cuter than her daughters.
I got a lot of attention with people saying I was cute. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Why not?
Because I don't know if that's true. I don't know where that came from.
Because that's the truth. That's your unconscious mind. That's your intuition.
Okay.
Okay? That's
She
good.
hated it. She hated it.
Because
And even as I was growing up, if somebody gave me a compliment, she would jump right in there to tear it down. And she taught her daughters to do the same.
because she was jealous the way that you looked.
Well, and I had a very obedient disposition.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I wasn't the rebellious child. I wasn't the whiny child. I just
You
was.
You couldn't be.
No. God, no.
But her children were not like that. And she was as jealous as anything.
Mm-hmm.
That her children weren't.
I had a very like bubbly personality, and I know that God gave that to me, or I wouldn't have endured it. Like, I had to have that, or I would not have survived. Her one daughter was very sullen, and the other daughter was very rebellious. And she always wanted a son, never had one. So, of course, the boys were fine with her. She enjoyed them, but she sure didn't need another girl.
So go ahead, talk for her. You know exactly what to say.
I don't need any more competition. I already have 2 daughters. I don't need any more. And I don't want you. Your mother doesn't want you. I don't want you. Nobody wants you. You think you're cute, you're not. You're just a skinny, scrawny, ugly little girl. And you're going to grow up to be a skinny, scrawny, ugly woman. Nobody's ever going to want you. You think that being nice is going to get you somewhere? It's not. Has it gotten you anywhere with me? No. I don't like you. In fact, I hate you. I wish you'd never been born. I hate that she dumps you off on me. I hate her. She's a lazy, no good for nothing woman who pawns her spawn off on me so that she can party and run off with men. Meanwhile, I have to sit here and be in this house and raise her kids. It's not fair. And it wasn't fair.
Well, Jenna, what do you have to say back?
It wasn't fair, but it wasn't my fault. It's not my fault. I don't want to be here either. And I would rather be with my mom. I wish my mom wanted me. And sometimes I wish I wasn't born. And you just make that feeling worse.
Rana, you have to answer back.
What?
Aunt Rana, take her place
Yeah.
now. What do you have to answer back?
It's Rowan.
Rowan.
Aunt Rowan.
Aunt Rowan.
I couldn't, and I wish I would have done better. It was just all too much. It's all too much. I had so much anger inside me, and you were an easy target. And I want to say I'm sorry, but there's a part of me that she's still a mean, angry woman today, so I don't know that she'd ever say she was sorry. You know what I mean?
She's still a mean, angry woman because she'll always be a mean, angry woman until she settles what she feels inside of her.
Right.
But does that have to still affect you?
No.
So, Jenna, what do you have to say back?
I didn't deserve the way you treated me. And the things you're saying are not true. But you have imprinted them in my brain. And I'm going to carry them with me. Because I'm just a little girl and I'm impressionable and I believe what you grown-ups tell me.
Joanne, what do you have to say back?
Good. I want you to suffer. I suffer having to take care of you. Why shouldn't you have to suffer? I have no feelings of love toward you at all. I feel nothing but hate and contempt toward you. What do you say to that?
The same thing that you say to your family now. You don't care. What they think is not important. What do you think about your family now? Remember we said at the beginning of the session?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing you can say. You can't hurt me anymore.
Well, I'm sitting here sobbing, so apparently she can.
Tap on little Jenna as you tap on yourself. All that sobbing.
All that sobbing.
All that pain.
All that pain.
All that hurt.
All that hurt.
It was yours.
That was yours.
It wasn't mine.
It wasn't mine.
You tried to give it to me.
You tried to give it to me.
You succeeded in a lot of ways.
You succeeded in a lot of ways.
For a time.
For a time.
But that time's over now.
That time's over now.
I choose to give it back to you.
I choose to give it back to you.
That's what forgiving is.
That's what forgiving is.
It's forgiving back.
It's forgiving back.
What never belonged to me in the first place.
What never belonged to me in the first place.
I give it to you.
I give it to you.
And by doing that, I set myself free.
And by doing that, I set myself free.
Free to learn my own way how to love myself.
Free to learn my own way how to love myself.
Free to learn my own way how to respect myself.
Free to learn my own way how to respect myself.
Free to learn my own way how to accept myself, how to respect myself.
Free to learn how to respect myself.
Free to forgive myself.
Free to forgive myself.
For carrying your junk around for so long.
For carrying your junk around for so long.
But now I give it back to you.
But now I give it back to you.
And I send you off on your way.
And I send you off on your way.
Because I have better tools.
Because I have better tools.
And I'm using them to teach myself.
And I'm using them to teach myself.
How to love myself unconditionally.
How to love myself unconditionally.
How to always see the good in every one of my situations.
How to see the good in everyone in my situation.
How to always get the gift.
How to always get the gift.
I let everything else go.
I let everything else go.
I'm safe.
I am safe.
Grab your wrist. Breathe in. Blow out. Touch the force field. Bring little Jenna into the force field. Let her feel the safety, the purity of those purifying waters that let go of all the other stuff. Right? That's what the purifying waters do. The mikvah.
Yeah.
How's she feeling now?
Better.
Okay.
She's smiling, and when I was tapping and you were saying, I'm giving it back to you, she was literally like either tossing it to her or picking up a box and taking it to her and
Good.
like giving her stuff back.
And now send her off to suffer on her own.
Right. Well, to deal with however she's going to deal with it.
That's right.
What she does, she does.
It's her choice. It's her journey, not yours.
Right. Right.
Now what I want you to do is I want you to pull all the Jennas that suffered from what she had said and see how they're doing now. Now that's all been given back to her. And ask them if there's anything else they need to give back to her. Let them add it into the box.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Take them all and bring them right into your heart. where they belong. All those Jennas.
Mm-hmm.
And when you, yeah,
That's what's going through my mind is this riddle. You know the sticks and stones one?
yep,
There's a lady who, she's actually a pastor's wife, but she changed it. And she's like, sticks and stones can break your bones and words can hurt, it's true. But I can choose with whom I believe, and I choose God, not you.
good one. I like that
Mm-hmm.
one.
I did too. I did too. And I kind of like said that to her, little Jenna, as we were going through the tapping of, she can say those things, but that's not true. And we'll choose to believe what God says about you.
Okay, now I want you to call your father to the chair.
Boy. Okay.
And with Jenna's newfound strength and belief in God,
Mm-hmm.
that she believes in what God says about her,
Mm-hmm.
have her tell her father all the things she needs to tell him, but didn't have the voice to then.
You have hurt my feelings so many times throughout the years. When I was in such a vulnerable state, growing from a little girl into a young woman into a woman, making comments about the way I looked, telling me things that I was going to die and burn in hell for all eternity. And you have caused so much damage, or you did cause so much damage. But I am seeing that the things you said are not true either. And this is your issues. And I'm going to have to distance myself from you. Because I'm not going to continue to drink the poison. I love you, but I'm going to do what I need to do to take care of me.
Dad, what do you have to answer?
I'm sorry, and I know I've done things to hurt you, and I didn't mean to do those things. And I want you to do what you need to do to take care of yourself.
Well, Jenna, you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the thing is he may try to. He has his own thoughts, and that's fine. Whatever they are, they are what they are. I'm going to choose to believe that that's what he would say.
I want you to do the same thing over here and give back to him all the stuff that was never yours. That was his, and he tried to dump it on you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. I want you to call all the Jennas that were affected by what he said and have them give back to him all the things that are still left with them that never belonged to them.
Okay. They're good.
them all. Bring them right into your heart. And start tapping. I bring you all there into my heart.
Bring you all there into my heart.
To accept you.
To accept you.
To love you.
To love you.
To hold you.
To hold you.
To support you.
To support you.
To keep you with me at all times.
To keep you with me at all times.
You're all beautiful.
You're all beautiful.
And you're all part of me.
And you're all part of me.
So I must be beautiful too.
So I must be beautiful too.
It's safe to be beautiful.
It's safe to be beautiful.
It's safe to know that I'm beautiful.
It's safe to know that I'm beautiful.
It's safe to accept that I'm beautiful.
It's safe to accept that I'm beautiful.
And it's safe to accept that other people think I'm beautiful.
And it's safe to accept that other people think I'm beautiful.
Because my inner beauty shines out.
Because my inner beauty shines out.
No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter how much people try to shove it back in.
No matter how much people tried to shove it back in.
Because what God says and what God thinks.
Because what God says and what God thinks.
That's what really counts.
That's what really counts.
So that inner beauty just shines out.
So that inner beauty shines out.
And if people want to be affected by it.
And if people want to be affected by it.
And absorb some of the beauty.
And absorb some of the beauty.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Because the more I give.
Because the more I give.
The more I have.
The more I have.
And if they don't.
And if they don't.
That's their journey.
That's their journey.
Not mine.
Not mine.
I let everything else go.
Let everything else go.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Grab your wrist. Breathe in. Blow out.
Peace.
Go ahead, touch the force field. Feel the safety, the purifying waters. And now we started from, you can never accept a compliment.
Uh-huh.
How does that feel now? Think about that woman who said you were beautiful.
Sorry. Got
Fine.
tissue in my eyes.
That's fine.
I mean, maybe she meant it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And how do you want to react when someone tells you a compliment?
I want to just be able to say thank you and take it in and not analyze it.
Okay. So go back to that place. Hear her say the compliment to your husband. And what do you say back to her?
Thank you.
And I want you to go 7 days into the future.
Okay.
And you're walking down the street. And someone says, wow, you're beautiful. What do you do?
Thank you.
Pretty easy, isn't it?
Thank you.
I want you to look at that picture that Leland put of you on that cover of the article. And what do you feel now when you look at it?
It feels better. It feels better.
Now notice. You see
I'll have to look at the picture again and see. But like imagining it in my mind, it feels better.
And I want you to notice a month into the future, you're standing in the store and someone's opening up the magazine or the newspaper that has that article in it and says, wow, she's a beautiful woman. What do you say?
It's funny because before you said, wow, she's a beautiful woman, I had a slight bit of a cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God. But then when you said, wow, that's a beautiful woman, I didn't feel like, oh, they're just lying. So
Okay, good.
I guess that's good.
Good. Okay. This is the beginning of the body scan.
Okay.
We're going to have to get into more depth over there, but I think it's a good start.
Okay. Okay.
How are you feeling?
Better.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I needed to be able to say those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I was surprised at how much it still affected me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like I had done some work where she was concerned. But there's just so much where she's concerned that, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that there would still be stuff there.
The next time you go to the mikveh,
Yeah.
I want you to notice how the mikveh, the water, just cleanses you of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Takes it all away. Disposes of it like it knows how to do, with God's help.
Yeah. Yeah. We really need a mikvah around here. I have to drive an hour and a half to get to one.
Wow. Okay. But it's worth it. When you think about the benefits that you get from it, it's definitely worth it.
It was definitely worth it. Yeah.
Okay, but now it gives you an extra, what's what I'm looking for? Aspect to the mikveh.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Use it to help you cleanse yourself of all that stuff that didn't ever belong to you, that people just dumped on you from all sides because they felt that they could.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're giving it back to them. You're letting it go.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'm glad we had this session, even though it was a little bit hard at the beginning, till we got it working.
It was interesting.
But it's an interesting journey, and we'll see where it leads you.
Okay, thank you.
Next week.
Bye-bye.
Same time, same place.
Yep. Okay. Shalom.
Bye-bye. Shalom.
Don't forget, if you like this video, leave a like down below, subscribe to my channel, or subscribe to my newsletter. The address is right down below over there. Have a great week.